Mumbai thing is perhaps the most glaring example of the fact that Indian Federation has now succumbed to the pressures of the fascist Hindu ideology. Like RSS, Bajrang Dal, BJP, and all their cadre, one after another, were being exposed by Kurkure. This was a bombshell for the fascists in India, because a few years back there was a bomb explosion in a Samjhauta Express which killed dozens of Pakistanis primarily. The allegations were levied against Jamatul Dawa or Lashkar-e-tayyba. Later found out this Colonel Prohit, who was arrested by the anti-terrorism police,
was the mastermind
behind it. He provided the RDX from the military depots. The whole nexus of Zionists was falling apart. One after another they were being caught. November of 12th, one of their gurus was captured. On November 13th, Gujarat police arrested a woman. November 14th, Colonel Prohit's gang was being captured. A police officer who was investigating her, under the cover of this facade, they were able to assassinate Kurkure and his entire team. And within 15 minutes, Kurkure was shot with 9mm pistols. The pistols that those terrorists were not carrying. And these pistols were used by Indian police. Anybody who knows guns know .30 is not 9mm. They show the picture of a .30 caliber pistol, but then they write underneath it's a 9mm. It's like showing a 155mm howitzer and saying it's an 8-inch mortar. Even an idiot can see they're trying to make a fool out of it. Raw Research and Analysis Wing and Mossad are trying to fix up some kind of evidence against Pakistan. But in the heat of the moment, lots of information came out. Because they were trying to do too many things too quickly. Primarily, they wanted to create a 9/11. But idiots as they are, they could not handle it properly. And they thought, the way Americans were able to stage a 9/11, and after that they would able to wage a war against Afghanistan and Iraq, Indians would be able to do the same. The objective was this, but they mishandled it. They really goofed up big time. Despite overwhelming evidence from eyewitnesses and their own media and Western sources that this was an inside job, it was a false flag operation. They did it themselves. They wanted to divert attention from themselves towards Pakistan. They wanted to create a global justification that India must wage a war against Pakistan. It was a false flag 911. It didn't work out. They goofed up. But they tried very hard. It was later discovered that the telephone SIM were actually provided by the undercover Indian intelligence officers. And his article, Tehelka exposed it, Misra writes it, and we present it today, categorically suggesting that Red Fort operation was also a covert operation by RAW to rope Pakistan in, creating a justification that Pakistan is ISI and Pakistan security establishments are terrorist organizations. Again, their own sources exposing them. And that is why you find no investigation of the Red Fort case. You find absolutely nothing coming out of the Samjhauta Express case also. And in fact, Pakistanis were killed and wounded, burnt alive in fact, when the doors of the train were closed and explosives were put inside by Colonel Prohit, the man arrested by Kurkure.
Imagine those doors were closed.
They locked the doors.
They locked the door from outside.
And then they burned those people alive.
Can you imagine?
Burning people alive is the favorite hobby of Indian hardcore Zionists, of Modi, of RFS, of Bajrang Dal, of Shiv Sena, and Bal Thackeray.
Because they burn the dead bodies as well. So
because they burn the dead bodies, so they burn Muslims alive. All bomb blasts by Hindu terrorists. Lieutenant Colonel Prohit gave RDX. Now
60 kg of RDX.
60 kilograms of RDX. Now this was a headline in Times of India. Can you imagine this? So when these kind of and then on November 26th, threat to blow up ATF chief house. And again, this is an Indian media which is saying the ATF chief, the police officer, was saying threat that we'll blow up your house, we'll kill you in 2 days.
They did it, yes.
See the timeline. We've discussed the timeline. Headline was Hindu extremists behind Samjhauta Ajmer blasts. That's November 15th. Things are building up now. November 15th again, shocking first. Woman held in a 2002 Gujarat riot case.
November 15th.
November 13th, Malignon blast UP religious leader on NDA dropout. November 29th, after the Mumbai thing, Kurkure's wife declines Modi's compensation offer. Now Interpol has been sidelined. They've got absolutely no intelligence, no information, no proof of this so-called Pakistan's involvement in Mumbai. Pakistan is offering, we'll send our investigators, let's bring the proof together, we'll sit together and we'll see what you have got. But Indians would never do this. Why they would never do this? Because Indians are saying is RSS and Mossad killed the police chief because they do not want anybody to investigate them. How can they allow anyone from Pakistan to go? Now we come to the very interesting statement, and this is the icing on the cake. This is the funniest part of it. You see, Ajmal Kasab, so-called, is from Pakistani village. And this boy is supposedly a 4th grade dropout. It's impossible that he speaks English. And it's even more impossible that he would understand Hindi, the Indian language. He writes a statement. And 4,000 cops, commandos, special forces kept battling them for what, 60 hours?
Yeah, that's what they said.
Wow, that's some score. That's some performance. That's some efficiency.
400
The 9 names that the Indians have given, why is nobody investigating them? Let's find out who those 9 peoples are. Indians are not even pushing for you call the Ajmal Kasab. What is the proof that he's Ajmal Kasab? What is the proof that the man is the actual terrorist? Even if he's Ajmal Kasab, what is the proof that he was involved in that terrorism? And the man is so calm and composed.
Walking as if...
And I can tell you this, even the most cold-blooded killers cannot walk like this the way that man is walking. It's a photo op. It's a photo shoot it was. What they're saying is, those men got down from the boat onto the beaches of Mumbai, took taxis, 2 taxis. They sit in separate taxis.
Why? Why was that so?
Suppose when they were pairing together, and so the 2 taxis were supposed to follow each other, apparently, and then they get down and put and plant bombs in those taxis. While they walk away, the bombs explode behind them, killing the taxi drivers. What kind of rubbish story this? Even third-rate script writers could come up with better stories. I mean, I have seen comedies, but this beats them all. And the terrorists walk into the railway lines, start slaughtering people left, right, and they kill hundreds of people, and they don't get shot themselves. What kind? Even the weirdest of Hollywood or Bollywood movies don't come up with this kind of stupid plot.
Matrix.
They kill almost 200 people, kill or wounded. Can you imagine how much ammunition they would 200 people? You need to fire thousands of bullets.
How, absolutely.
You see? And then they walk out from the railway station and start walking on Mumbai street, and they're on the road. And then they conduct some adventures. They hijack a police vehicle, they kill so many policemen.
They hijack a police vehicle.
And then they drive and they hijack another car, and then they come across a barricade of police, and finally an exchange of fire takes place, and Ismail was killed and Ajmal Kasab was captured alive. Two things are very, very critical. One thing is, the one picture of Ajmal Kasab and Ismail shows them at the gate of a hotel, and the funny part is, they never reached any hotel. Right after the railway station, supposedly they were killed and captured on the roadside. So how come their picture is shown in a hotel? They were captured within the first hour of the operation, according to this dossier. But the news of his being captured alive came to us after 60 hours. Indian media says they have killed all and captured 1. And remember this, the Belfast Telegraph reports categorically says they captured so many people, not 1, but they let them go. They were Mauritanians, they were British, and they were Malaysians. Those people had LSDs, drugs, had mind-altering drugs in their blood.
LSDs you're talking about.
And those men were drugged and they were used. Coming to the segment where Indians says that they have captured the communication, telephonic conversation between their handlers in Pakistan and the terrorists. And the conversation they give is from the Jewish house. And the fact of the matter is, this information cannot be verified for simple reason that both these men, supposedly whom they placed in the Jewish house, were dead. So the dead people don't speak. All this environment, Pakistanis would be insane to conduct this kind of ridiculous operation in Mumbai. So the entire blame comes against Pakistan, and Pakistan gets squeezed from all sides. On the other hand, the Indians stand to gain everything. They're hardliners, as we have said earlier. From their entire cadre of the fascists was being exposed by that police officer. So attention had to be diverted from that. And all those objectives serve the Zionists, not Pakistanis. So if this is a criteria, who benefits from this action? It's very clear. It's the enemies of Pakistan, it's the Israelis, it's the Americans, it's the RAW and the Mossad and the RSS and the Bajrang Dal and the hardliner Hindu fascists and Hindu Zionists who benefit, not Pakistanis. If they, on the pretext of this false context of Mumbai, try to invade Pakistan, the world will see a holocaust of a nuclear exchange. The threat of war still exists, and they will try to squeeze Pakistan from both sides. This was a black op for a purpose. The purpose has not served yet, and they have not given up. We have had enough from India. They should lay off now.